Hi guys, I hope you're all well. Hope everyone's good. Happy Wednesday evening. And I thought I would jump on and do a quick live. So I am going to get started pretty much straight away. I'm not going to wait for you all to hop on. Hope you're all having an amazing day. It is miserable weather out there. Okay, so I hope you're all well. I'm really hoping I'm going to be able to see comments. I can. Amazing. Hi, George. Hope you're good, babe. So, I hope everyone's well. Happy Wednesday evening. Please do say hello as you come on and just give me a wave and tell me you're there. So, I feel like I've been a little bit absent in here for the last 2 days. It's just been manic, absolutely manic. And I've had some time to just do a little bit of an evaluation after Disney, and I wanted to just spend the next 15 minutes, maybe a little bit longer, just asking you a few questions and giving you a little bit of training about you and about being you and about how you can use you in your business. Okay, so hopefully this is going to be relevant. Feel free to pop in the comments, you know, any questions that you've got as I go. So one of the questions that I want to ask you, this is the title of this live, is who are you? And are you using you to your full potential? Are you being authentically true to oneself? And how many of you are like, I don't even know? How many of you really show in your customer groups, on your social media, when you're out in public? Probably in public you do, maybe you don't, I don't know. But how many of you really show your customers the real you, okay? Or how many of you are trying to be somebody else? And I definitely have spent some time over the last 4 years probably trying to be lots of different people, because you look at people who are successful in this business and you think, I need to be that person. I need to have their systems. I need to have their social media. I need to talk the way they do. I need to do my hair the way they do. You know, all of those different things. I need to, you know, go on my stories and do the same. So Jade, I know 100% you are yourself. I know that you are yourself, but I'm hoping that what I'm going to say is I'm going to give you some tips on how you can use yourself to sell Scentsy, okay? Not to sell yourself, but technically that's what we're doing. We're selling ourselves to our customers. We're showing our customers a version of us. And then that technically is going to help us to be able to sell a product, right? And this is something that really resonated from when I went and did the training in Disney. One of the things they talked about was about customer service and customer relationships, and how you build your customer relationships and how you make sure that you become authentically yourself, if you like, and how you use that. So what I want you to think about is just something that I'm going to ask you tonight is, who's the person that your customers buy from? What are the things that make your customers come to you? Is it just that they are your friends and family? You know, the people that follow you maybe in your customer group. How many of you are thinking right now, my customer group's really quiet, my customer group's not doing much? How many, and I know that there are lots of you feeling this way. I know there are lots of you that probably feel a little bit like, do you know what, my customer group's dead. There's like tumbleweed in there right now. Or maybe your WhatsApp broadcasts are a little bit quiet. Your business page, maybe your Insta stories are not getting as many likes, or your stories are not getting as much interaction as they normally do. Or maybe actually a little bit of that is because the only thing you're plugging on there is just product and just Scentsy. Okay, so what I want you to think about is, who's the person that your customers buy from? Okay, my customers have started very much recently, in the last probably 6 months to probably a year, and they've started to tag me in things. Like the other day, a customer tagged me in a quote that was like, I need all the things because I'm a shopaholic. And I made that one of my like taglines in my Instagram, in my bio, is that I am a bit of a shopaholic. Okay, so I use that, for example, and I buy all sorts. Like, I probably could look around right now and find you 3 things that I bought in the last month, okay, and I could literally grab them and go, this is the reason I bought this, this is the reason I bought that. And some of them is going to be like really random stuff that you're going to be like, oh my god, she literally just buys stuff. That's me. I'm going to show you, okay, I'm just going to show you some things that I bought. So this was one, because I want to show you like that this is what my customers know. This is like a lay flat makeup bag. Bought that. Laura Bynes recommended it to me. This is how easy I am sold to. Number 2, makeup, Mrs. Hinch. Bought that because she was doing some sort of live showing how you put on this makeup. And I was like, oh my God, like, I need that in my life. What else? Hold on, let me look around. Gratitude journal. I see people literally doing daily gratitude, and I was like, I need a bit of that in my life. So I shopped around and I found a gratitude journal, for example. I did a little post on my stories the other day about a business box that I buy monthly, and that came because of somebody that I watched on Instagram that unboxed one, and I was like, I really like that. So I literally converse with my customers quite a lot about the fact that I am open about the fact that, oh my God, I've bought another like random product, I bought another gadget, or I bought another thing. So shopping, for example, is one of those things. My customers also tag me in Wagamamas. I've been tagged in that. They know that I love a bit of Wagamamas or a sushi. So I get tagged in, Wagamamas restaurants or sushi adverts, or another thing they know that I love is a Diet Coke. I've been tagged in Diet Coke adverts and, Diet Coke posts. Honestly, it goes on. So that my customers are getting to know that it's not just Lisa and her family of boys. They do know that, obviously. But they kind of started to associate brands with me, products with me, ideas with me. And that's what I want you to think about is, what is it that your customers associate with you? Now, if your customers only associate with you Scentsy, you need to have a little bit of a rethink, because this is about you being authentically true to yourself. And there might be some of you that are thinking right now, well, I'm really boring and there is nothing about me that people are going to want to read about or want to see. There you go. Jade said, I get tagged in everything with crazy haunted doll or a skull on it. And Jade, I'm not surprised. Like, Disney also springs to mind with you. And I felt like when I walked around Disney last week, I just literally wanted to share that experience with you. I wanted you there with me because I knew that I would not just see the crazy haunted doll skull Jade, I would see that fun kid-like Jade that comes out in you. And I know that your customers know that about you as well. So, Diet Coke, sorry guys. What I want you to think about is, I definitely, before I became a Scentsy consultant, I was thinking, like, no one really wants to read all about me. No, I'm boring. Like, what do people want to know about my life? And I remember posting on Instagram and being a little bit negative and a little bit nervous, if you like, about putting myself out on Instagram or on Facebook and sharing something that wasn't like a family picture, or sharing something that wasn't, something that I thought the people would want to see. But here's the big but, right? People are nosy. How many of you go onto someone's profile, use Jade's as an example, you might go onto Jade's profile and you're like, oh my God, look at that outfit that she's got on. That is insane. I love that outfit. And before you know it, you've clicked on her pictures, you've clicked on her albums, you've scrolled down, you've flicked through all of her, her cover photos, and you found yourself 15 minutes later in a scroll hole down a person's profile on Instagram or on Facebook. I've done it so many times, and I think to myself, oh my God, I've just lost like half an hour in my life. Okay. And that is because we're nosy creatures that get sucked into social media, and we get sucked into looking at people's social media. And what we don't think about is actually that people might get sucked into our social media if we let them in a little bit more and show who we are. So I want to ask you a question. Why do your customers connect with you? Those that are not friends and family, take them out of the equation. Why do the customers that you've made that are not friends and family keep coming back and buying from you every single month? I think mine is probably for a whole multitude of reasons, because I've got lots of customers that I don't know where I found them. I don't know where they come from, but they come back month in, month out. They buy VIP boxes. They buy mystery bags. They buy their 6-pack of wax from me. They want their warmers from me. And it's for probably a whole load of reasons. And number one might have been that they fell upon me from, completely by mistake. But my question is, why do they stay? What is it about you that makes your customers stay? Is it that you're funny? Is it that they've grown to love things that you post? Is it that you post funny memes? Is it that you share lifestyle posts and things that you're doing, where you're going? And what I want you to start thinking about is, think about accounts that maybe you follow on Instagram or Facebook. And I'm talking about Facebook just as much because I know that lots of people are scared to do this on Instagram. And I don't know why, because it's exactly the same platform. It's just that one's got more words and the other one's pretty much just pictures. Literally, there's nothing else different. But I want you to think about, what do you follow? What is it that grabs your attention and makes you stay? Now, if that is a funny meme or a quote or a Disney outfit or I don't know, a hairbrush or a hair tutorial. I'm trying to think of things that are like, or because they do really cool cleaning and you also do those things at home, I want you to start amplifying those things on your social media, because those are the things that are going to get people to come into your social media and they're going to stay a little bit more. I want you to start really thinking about what you're putting out in your customer group and what you're putting out into your Instagram. Now, here's a really good example. My business page has got 4,000 people on it and I post on there regularly, okay? Not as regularly as I would like, but I post on there a couple of times a week. Normally, I use limited time offers on there or when the Scent and Warmer of the Month comes, that's where I share that type of information. Now, before I started Scentsy, that page was built up to about 3,000 followers. And that was my Yummy Mummy Eats Clean page. Now, I know that there's people in here that didn't sign up with me, but I know that you did my program. So my program was a healthy eating program for mums, and it was a month-long program. And basically, I shared a weight loss program that helped people lose weight. It was clean eating. It was no crap, basically, no rubbish. But it was clean eating that allowed you to eat everything. And I gave workout ideas and all sorts, right? And that all went on that page. Now, when I decided that Scentsy was going to become my full-time gig, I removed everything off of that page. Facebook didn't really like it. I'm not going to lie. They killed the algorithm for a little while. And then what I did was I then started building on it as a Scentsy page. And gradually that page has built up and built up and built up. And there's a lot of consultants that now follow me on that page. But that page has now built up. And now I find, for example, on that page, if I just post Scentsy, it gets very little outreach. You can now click on your insights and it actually will tell you how long people spent on that particular image, how long people spent on that particular post. Now, when I post, this has a reason, I promise. When I post, today I had for breakfast a healthy omelette, blah, 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 blah. And I warmed Sunkist Citrus at the same time as eating my breakfast and felt so happy. And I combined that healthy eating with Scentsy, my reach on my post doubles, okay? Because it's like an insight into me. Those people followed that page well before because their interest was healthy eating. Their interest was losing weight. Their interest was, what does this girl do that allows all these people to lose weight? You know, what's on this program? What is this program that's only 30 quid? What is it? Now, I only realised this recently. When I go back and I scroll on those images, all of the ones that have got the most reach are ones that mention healthy eating or workout linked in with Scentsy. Okay, that's the clever bit. So, what I want you to start thinking about is, what are your customers going to connect with? What are they there for? Take your friends and family completely out of the equation. And this is why, yeah, George, family life 100% reaches the most people. And especially because they're going to reach our friends and our family 100%. But I want you to think further than that. What is it that people recognise you for? And I want you to think of 5 things. And I've talked about this before from a branding perspective. So, for example, I'm going to use Jade because she was the first person that commented on here. And I know Jade well enough to be able to do this. And I've said to Jade, you should do this before. And I don't know whether she does it much in her customer group. So I don't think I'm in your customer group, Jade. I can't remember if I am or not. But definitely this is something she should do on her Instagram because it would be huge. So Jade has got a full wardrobe of outfits. And in October, she did Scaretober. No, Rocktober. I can't remember. What's it called? She did something anyway. And she basically wore a different outfit every day that was like a Halloween-based, almost Disney-based outfit, right? And she posted them every day. And there were people commenting saying, oh, I can't wait to see what, for October, that's it. I can't wait to see what you're going to be wearing next. I remember seeing that comment And I thought, oh my God, bang on the money. That is a brand in itself. Like, you are a brand in yourself within that particular thing. Now, add in what you're wearing, okay? Add in, she just said, Blake being really naughty. You need, Jade, you literally could write a book on that. I'm not actually lying. I do check in on your page quite often to see what he's been up to next. You should call it what Blake did next. On top of that, your love for Disney. And then on top of that, your exercise and your workout. And then finally, Scentsy. You literally have got 5 perfect pillars to build a brand where people keep coming back. People keep coming back. People keep coming back. They want to know more because they're connecting with everything as well as the Scentsy. And what will happen is, because of people are in your customer group and they're looking for all of these different things, they're looking at these different pillars, they're not just looking at Scentsy, warmer, wax, cleaning products, and eventually they get a little bit bored. Okay, they want to literally see everything. They want to see those 5 pillars. Now, there are going to be some of you that are going to say to me, my life is boring. I haven't got 5 pillars. There is something about every single person because you are authentically you and you are yourself. You are you. So, for example, I often have got a Diet Coke. I probably don't post about it as much as I should. I post about the dog. I post about my kids and my family. I post about going to the gym. I post healthy eating recipes. Not a lot, not as much. I've definitely fell off the wagon with this a little bit. For a little while, I was posting just like my outfit of the day because, believe it or not, people seem to want to know what I was pairing with a pair of jeans and a cardigan and a funky pair of boots. People want to know the weirdest of stuff. Like when I posted about my trainer obsession, I've got far too many pairs of trainers. Honestly, husband will kill me if I buy another pair. But that type of thing is what draws people in. And it's drawing people in for other things that are not necessarily Scentsy and then rocking the Scentsy in the middle of it. And the impact this is going to have is your customers are going to get to know you a little bit more. When your customers know you, they start to tag you and stuff. When they know you, they trust you. If they just see time and time again the same products over and over again being blasted on your customer group, it's boring. Like, how many groups are you in where you literally scroll on past because it's the same shit all the time and you're like, oh my God, so boring. So I want you to think about you as a person. Don't try and be anybody else. You need to be you, okay? Authentically you on a daily basis. If you're a sweary person, use the swear words, okay? All right, in moderation, moderate it. If you like to dress up, show people that. Think about that. If you, I don't know, love to travel, if you love a sunset, I think of Laura Silkins and I think of sunrises and sunsets. You know, they're on her Instagram and on her customer group all the time. You know, if you love hats, get your hats out. If, you know, your love is perfume and you can't help that wherever you go, you buy perfume, talk about it on your customer group. As long as there's not a conflict of interest there. And as long as, for example, you know, you're not mixing Scentsy with and using like Disney to endorse Disney, for example, or you're not, you know, using another product to endorse another product. It's okay to show people who you are. And I can guarantee that if I looked at 20 Facebook customer groups, that would be my feedback to every single one of you. It would be that at least 2 of your posts a day need to be more about you. Okay, there is probably, most of you have got the ratio wrong in that 5 of your posts are Scentsy and 1 post is looking at, you know, 1 post will possibly be what you have physically done in that day with your kids or with your dog or where you've been on that day. We're all guilty of it because sometimes it's easy to post Scentsy and sometimes we think that our life is not very interesting. But I can tell you now that picking up a cup and saying, oh, I'm just drinking a cup of coffee. Do you prefer tea or coffee? Is a really good interaction post. You know, how do you drink your tea? You know, what's your favourite perfume? I've got these 3. I absolutely love them. These are the type of things that your customers want to see. And if your customer group is complete tumbleweed, this is what you need to be doing because this creates trust and it's authentic to you. And it needs to be authentic. You need to be showing people who you are. And you don't need to worry about what anyone else thinks because for a really long time, I worried about what people thought about me by posting a mirror selfie saying this is my outfit of the day, because I might have friends that look at me and go, I'm not really bothered by what her outfit is, because they've known me for a really long time. But if you enjoy posting that type of thing or sharing that type of thing with your customers, make it work for you. I used to have people say to me, why do you share your food posts all the time? Another dinner selfie. Another omelette. And do you know what? For a little while, it really bothered me. But you've got to grow thick skin to these things, because if you want your business to work, we are a social media networking business. And if you think about Instagram and Facebook, if you've got like today, for example, I'm having an absolute mare, right, with passport situation with my husband at the moment. If anyone knows anyone that works at the passport office, please wave at me and help me out. He's not got a passport at the moment, and it's been stuck at the passport office for 11 weeks, right? I have posted on my social media today publicly, does anyone know anyone that works at the passport office? I have had a multitude of people that I do not know comment on there. One man in particular has inboxed me and given me 5 different numbers or 4 different numbers to try. No, I haven't, Jade. I'll have a look. It might be the same as what this guy sent me today. I don't know him from Adam. And he was like, look, I'm not going to recommend that you post this on like social media, but try this number. This might work for you. I don't know him, but it's because I posted something publicly that he was looking for. Hey, hold on a minute. If I've engaged him in that post with a public post, I could engage some more Wagamama lovers or some more, you know, crazy shopaholics like me that buy like random shit all the time, that might also like things that, you know, I've been buying and might really resonate with that. And I think that's really, really important to use that information in your customer group, in your stories, on your Instagram. It doesn't have to be all just business and about Scentsy, because I'm promising you now, I know that when I find an account that I like, and it's just the same thing over and over again, like I follow a couple of girls from FM, another body shop girl, and unfortunately their accounts are literally this perfume, this, and I'm like, I literally stick at it for 5 minutes. The accounts that I stick at are the ones where I wouldn't actually, on the face of it, even know, I wouldn't even know that they were selling that particular product until I got into their stories. And then I would realise they're following. And that is what draws people in. So they need to know what's going on with you. You are your brand. And it is as simple as that. You need to create your brand around you. So I want you to think about your 5 pillars. If it might be more than that, it might be 6 or 7. You might only have 3 that you think are interesting enough. Ask your friends and family. Say to people, like, when you think of me, like, what do you think of? And not like kindness, you know, intelligent, all of those type of things. What do you think of? Like, I could think of, if I pick another director, for example, Kirsty England, and I think of Kirsty, and I think of family, chroma, paddleboarding, Scentsy, and hold on, what else comes to mind? Honestly, teacher. Those 5 things all spring to mind. And I can think of that. I see those things all on her social media. I see those things on her social media. And that's what I'm asking you. What are your things? It's a really good interaction post, Una, yeah. What are your things that literally draw people in? And if you've got something, whether it might be a dog or your house, maybe you're renovating your house. I can tell you now, my Instagram literally went up tenfold, and my customer group, as soon as I started asking people for opinions on kitchens, kitchen worktops, tiles. I'd already picked what I wanted. I wasn't going to let anybody else influence that, because I'm authentically me and I like what I like. I'm not going to change that by somebody else. But you can still ask that to people. You can still say to people, right, picking a wallpaper, help me decide. Right, picking a dressing table, I've got these 3. What do people like, A, B or C or D? It doesn't have to be perfect, okay? And if you're already doing something and you're finding it's not working, then you need to tweak it slightly. My other tip for you around this, especially if you're using Instagram, is research hashtags around your 5 pillars. So, for example, when you're posting about Wagamamas and you love Wagamamas, make sure that you post hashtags that are relevant, that other people have maybe used. Look for accounts that have got like 20,000 followers on and they post about Wagamamas, and look at what hashtags they use, screenshot them, and then regurgitate them, use them, and then add in some Essex ones if you're from Essex or you're from Norfolk, add in some Norfolk ones as well. So then you're actually resonating to people further and further away. I recently, when I was in Disney, I was obviously hashtagging Disney, Walt Disney World, and all these different things. And I have connected with a lady who is a travel representative for a travel company. And I've asked her to join Sensei, and she was like, no, it's not for me, but really lovely to like connect with somebody else who's in MLM. And then I've connected with another lady who is a Disney blogger. And she actually said in my inbox, oh my God, I so need to find somebody to partner with. I so need to find a job where I can partner with Disney. Cha-ching! We've had the join conversation. And she's thinking about joining. And I'm like, oh my God, if she joins, that'd be flipping amazing. And that was off the back of hashtagging about Disney where I was. So if, for example, this week you're going somewhere and you're taking your kids away, like we've got Spider-Man birthday party this weekend because it's Artie's 5th birthday next week. And I'm going to be going to Norway the following week. So I literally, hopefully with my husband, if I can sort the passport situation out. But I literally am going to be researching. I'm going to be researching people that have already posted about that type of thing. You know, if you think, okay, I'm really into Chinese food, then go on Instagram, go on Facebook, find people that are successful with that type of post and use it to inspire you. Okay, use it to inspire your brand because you are your brand. Don't copy someone else. Don't compete with somebody else. I never compete with anybody. And there are going to be people out there that are going to hate, right? I've got haters. I've got a whole Hater Lisa club, believe it or not. And they're all out there. And, you know, they're all talking about me behind my back. And that's okay. I'm okay with that because I'm true to myself and I've got my friends and I've got a wonderful team and I've got a wonderful business, a wonderful home life, and I don't need to get caught up in that. Who cares if they're screenshotting what I'm writing and going, oh, have you seen this? I don't care. If it's not in my face, I don't need to worry about it. If somebody's not showing it to me, I don't need to know about it. And if it's not one of my best friends, then it's water off a duck's back to me. And that's how you guys should be thinking when you're thinking, you know, I know that there's that little voice of doubt that is in so many of your heads going, oh, I can't post that because my friends might think this. If that's the case, remove them from your customer group, remove them from your area where you're posting, you know, so that they don't see it. Post and remove them off of it so they can't see what you're posting about. But you need to be authentically true to yourself. It's taken a really long time to be that person, Hayley, and I'm not going to lie, I've had lots of tears over people that I shouldn't have. But, you know, if I didn't, I wouldn't be human, right? So don't try to be somebody else. Don't try to compete with somebody else. Don't try to be them. Become your own brand. Be authentically true to you and do you. Stay in your lane and sell yourself, as in Sensei, not like sell yourself in any other way. Yes, Jade, that's me too. Like 100%. When I find out that someone, you know, has said something like that about me, all I think is, well, watch me do it bigger. You know, I stayed in a job that I was unhappy in for a very long time because I was too stubborn to go elsewhere because of the person that made me unhappy. I was like, I'm going to prove them wrong. Stayed there for a really, really long time. And that's the person I am. I'm not going anywhere. Simple as that. I always think as well, people like that are so unhappy in their own lives that they need to make somebody else feel miserable. And we don't need people like that in our lives. Cut them out. I definitely have cut out people like that over time. And I know that's a skill. As you get older, you literally can, you know, make the chop a little bit easier. They called it, when we was in Disney, they called it trim the fat. And I really like that. I was like, that is such a good term. When you're trimming the fat is when you're getting rid of those people that you just don't need. So sell yourself, whether it's in your customer group or whether it's on your business page, whether it's on your personal page, whether it's on your stories. I want you to become your own brand, okay? I want you to go away and write down what are your 5 things and then create content around those 5 things. How can you sell Sensei with Wagamamas? How can you sell Sensei with fitness? How can you sell Sensei if you're obsessed with hair? How can you sell Sensei, you know, if fast cars are your thing? Whatever is your thing. Because I promise you, when you start posting about those things, you're going to attract new people in. Especially if it's public, okay? If it's public, in a public format, on a public Instagram, public business page, you're going to start to find that people are going to start to follow you, because that's how people follow, is they literally follow because they've got the same interest as you. And your social media has got to show that in some way, shape or form. But don't try and be someone else. And if you really don't know what your 5 is, as I say, ask your closest 5. Ask people that are around you and say like, okay, I need to sort of post more about me. And I'll tell you where I've done this, right? So let me show you. This is like I call this like my think book, I suppose. And if I recommend that everybody gets one of these, and if you haven't, it literally is a notebook. It's nothing exciting. It was from it was from Sainsbury's, this one, and it literally just says it's big. And then what I do on here is I write down every training, all my ideas, and I go through these. I've probably got about 7 of these books, and if I go and drag out, if I go and like bring them out, I literally can go back. Right, so this is what I did. I did this ages ago. I don't even know if I've shown you guys this, because I think this is when I was having like mental block about what to post on social media, what to post on Instagram, and I ended up posting nothing. What happens is, if you struggle with this, sometimes you can end up doing nothing. So if that's the case, just post about one thing to start with and build on your pillars, okay? So whether it's, Wagamama's, I keep saying it because Jade said that. Whether it's Wagamama's, just keep posting about Wagamama's in between your Scentsy posts to start with. And then once you get to grips with that, build on a second pillar and so forth. So this is when I was trying to work out like what my pillars were. So I've got in the middle here, mum. This has changed quite a bit. So dog mum, fitness lover, Scentsy in my home, and then I had female boss mum, which didn't really work. So here, dog mum, Scentsy dog, Dexter pose, exercise with dog, walks, a girl's best friend. So they're all the things. There's like 5 posts there about my dog, okay? Then in the fitness lover, I've got gym wear, food, on the mat, weights, how I feel when I exercise, progress not perfection, strength, Peloton. And now actually I'm back in the gym. So that would go on there as well. So there's lots of posts there about fitness. Then on the next one, that's Scentsy life. So Scentsy in my home, home decor with Scentsy, kitchen warmers, all the different warmers in my home, selfies, mirror with selfie product. So you can see where I'm going there. Female boss mum, how being a boss mum makes me feel, how my team make me feel, my love for my squad, independence, doing it for me, my time, my life, okay? What I've actually created there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 29 posts I've got there, okay? 29 posts just by doing that spider diagram. And then what you can do is you just keep revisiting them. And the posts that get the most interaction, the most engagement, you repost them. You write them again and you tweak your hashtags, or you reuse those ones in your customer group. And you can actually go into your customer group insights and look at which post got the most engagement. And that's a really good place to start when you're literally trying to brand yourself and literally trying to be yourself. So I have gone off on a bit of a tangent. Obviously, I was coming to talk about you, how you're using yourself as a brand. So if you're not doing this, start today. Okay, sit down tonight while you watch Bridgerton or Netflix or whatever you're watching. There's some random program that Laura Jenkins said she was watching last night. And write down, a little bit about yourself on a piece of paper. And then I want you to start to bring that into your customer group. Start to bring it into your Instagram. Start to bring it into your customer group, especially because that place is where your customers need to know you. Sorry, guys, Diet Coke. It's repeating on me now. That's where your customers need to know you inside and out, okay? That's where your customers want to know what random shizzle you've bought, what, all of that stuff. They want to know it. They love it. And the interaction posts are really, really important. I did an interaction post yesterday and it was a really hard one. And it was like, tell me your job title with emojis. And I was trying to guess people's job titles. And it was a really good one for me to get to know my customers a little bit more, but also to build up a bit of fun and engagement in my customer group. It didn't have loads of comments on it, but it had enough that it was quite funny and we was all laughing and, and now I know that like one of my customers, I'm like, oh, she's a compliance manager. I had no idea that was what she did. So, it starts to open up different conversations as well and different, focus points. So that's my question for you tonight. Are you being you? Are you being authentically genuine to yourself? If you're not, go back, have a little listen to the tips, put some of these practical tips into practice. across all social media. It doesn't, you know, if you don't use Instagram, that's fine. Just do it in your customer group and your personal page on Facebook. Try it there first, get to grips with it, and then build on it. And especially if you've got something that's a niche for you, like talk about it. Talk about it. It's so, so important. And as I say, if you really haven't and you're really struggling, ask your director, ask whoever signed you up, and be like, what would you say, look, my selling points are? And this will help you. So that was like a little bit of social media training, a little bit of, you know, mindset of avoid the negativity and avoid the haters, you know, fingers up to the haters. That's how we feel. And also a little bit more about being authentic to oneself. Anyway, I hope this has resonated with some of you. I'm going to speak to you all soon. I have got some ideas for some training this month. I'm literally just waiting on Tam Richards to get back to me to see whether it's going to be something that we're going to go ahead with. If not, I'm going to do it anyway. It's a 3-part series and you're going to love it. But I will divulge a little bit more on that. Hopefully tomorrow I'm going to go and poke Tam in the back and say, Tam, come on, what are we doing? And we'll go from there. But anyway, I hope you like this, guys, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye. Have a great evening.